for human rights, peace, trade unions, the environment, and outspoken activist for virtually every progressive cause. He did this with his words and his music, and by living an exemplary life. He believed in the power of music to heal the world, one song at a time. He once said, "Songs are funny things. They can slip across borders, proliferate in prisons, penetrate hard shells. I've always believed that the right song at the right moment could change history." Amen. Tonight, in true Pete Seeger fashion, we'll be doing some sing-along songs. Yes? All right, I love that. Now, some of these are songs that Pete wrote himself, and some of them are just songs that Pete loved to sing. You'll also hear songs from the One City Chorus and the Urban Gypsies of Florida. Again, not songs written by Pete necessarily, but songs meant as a tribute to Pete. Songs that we're pretty sure that Pete would have liked. Now we're going to run a video from
There are so many names for folk music: roots, Americana, world music, singer-songwriter, traditional trad, neo-trad. Isn't there one name that says it all, that stands for all the people's music of the world? Maybe there is. Just one. Pete Seeger.
Wake up, what makes you sleep so sound? Them highway robbers are coming, gonna tear your still house down.
In a career that spanned over 70 years, from hoboing with Woody Guthrie to singing Woody's "This Land Is Your Land" at the inauguration of a president.
This land was made, you and me.
Pete Seeger was the Pied Piper of folk music, guiding it from its long life as the self-made music of ordinary people to the vast and vital form it is today. He did it as entertainer and activist, groundbreaking innovator and tender traditionalist, champion of new voices and all that came before. Songs he wrote or co-wrote: "If I Had a Hammer," "Turn, Turn, Turn," "Where Have All the Flowers Gone," are sung throughout the world. And always he made that world sing with him, his way of proving that music belongs to everybody. To Pete, there was no such thing as a chestnut. Who else could do this to Carnegie Hall?
Flies in the sugar bowl, shoot, shoot, shoot. Flies in the sugar bowl, shoot, shoot, shoot. Flies in the sugar bowl, shoot, shoot, shoot. Skip to the doo bop bop. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, skip to the doo bop bop. Over and over. Soon as we all cook sweet potatoes, sweet potatoes, sweet potatoes. Soon as we all cook sweet potatoes, eat them right straight up.
About his storied career, Pete would say, "The best part of my job is that whenever things get too hectic around the house, I pull out my banjo and somebody says, 'Shh, Grandpa's working.'" Arlo Guthrie said, "I think Pete was a very simple human being. I don't think he was born simple. He just distilled. He was the same in his living room as he was in stadium, and that intimacy was born of his personal belief that we're all in it together." That distilled simplicity was magically displayed in Pete's campaign to clean up the Hudson River. He didn't do it with fiery protests. He gathered neighbors to build a sloop called Clearwater, sailed it up and down the river, putting on shows, pumpkin festivals, and ice cream socials. He talked with local communities about how to clean up their stretch of the river, and it worked, creating a model for grassroots movements everywhere. Pete was always an activist, helping to found the leftist collective People's Songs, the folk magazine Sing Out, the Newport Folk Festival, and Clearwater Festival. He marched for unions, civil rights, women's rights, the environment, against the wars in Vietnam, Central America, and Iraq. 23rd, 1919. His father, Charles Seeger, was a pioneer of the folk movement, practically inventing the field of ethnomusicology. Pete became enchanted by the real-life honesty of folk music, but it may surprise people to know what sparked his career: money. Studying journalism at Harvard, Pete got $5 to sing at his aunt's school and stopped looking for a newspaper job. At a square dance in 1939, he met Toshi Ota. They married in 1943. Toshi Seeger was the woman behind the man when he needed a push, the woman in front of the man when he needed protection, the center of gravity that allowed him to soar. In 1941, Pete helped form the Radical Almanac Singers, who sang for union rallies, protests, and picket lines. Their recordings of labor songs were used by organizers all over the country.
Now, if you want higher wages, let me tell you what to do. You got to talk to the workers in the shop with you. You got to build you a union. You got to make it strong. But if you all stick together, boys, it won't be long. You get shorter hours.
In 1949, Pete, Lee Hayes, Ronnie Gilbert, and Fred Hellerman formed a quartet to get folk songs into the commercial mainstream. The Weavers quickly became the most popular singers in the world. But by 1953, the anti-communist blacklist had destroyed their careers. Pete refused to cooperate with the House Un-American Activities Committee and was sentenced to a year in prison. The conviction was overturned in 1962. With the government, music industry, and media determined to silence him, in 1953, Pete began what he called the most important job I ever did. He would keep singing any way he could. He performed at summer camps, nursery schools, house concerts, and colleges, especially colleges. A generation weaned on pop fluff like Hot Diggity Dog Diggity was captivated by Pete's earthy songs and his radical message to make your own music. His outlaw status added to the luster, enhanced by right-wingers protesting his concerts. Those poor John Birchers, he said, all their protests did was sell tickets. Pete kept recording thanks to a progressive label called Folkers. The solo acoustic albums he made for them profoundly influenced the artists who would ignite the 60s revival. Even more influential was how Pete sang. He never tried to imitate the working class people or ethnic groups who created the songs. He was always being himself.
Oh, Mississippi River, long, deep, and wide, I gotta find my sweet gal on the other side. Take me back to St. Louis. Hat do that without a stocking or cravat. Nothing but an old straw hat while backwards on the railway.
It seems so normal today, but its effect then was revolutionary. By making the songs his own, Arlo Guthrie said, Pete allowed somebody like me to make them mine. Nothing defined Pete's populist mission more than his zeal for sing-alongs.
It's every man and woman for the South, and child. If you hear too many people singing low, you sing high. If there's too many on top, you crawl on the bottom. Don't forget the melody. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I ain't gonna stay on, ain't gonna stay on, ain't gonna stay on. Now sing it! I ain't gonna stay
Grandson and performing partner Tal Rodriguez Seeger said, He wanted to get audiences involved because he believed that through the communal experience of music, the world could be made better. That's also why Pete had so much trouble with fame. Being a star undermined his belief that music belonged to everybody. But he also knew his fame was a powerful torch in a darkened world. For people's movements everywhere, he was a symbol of struggle and hope. Freedom songs he'd helped create or popularize, like We Shall Overcome, became anthems for new movements. Activists would seek to prove their power by inviting Pete to sing. In the 1970s, he performed for the pro-democracy movement in fascist Spain, where his music had been banned for decades. Government officials handed him a list of songs he must not sing. He told a crowd of 100,000, "I've been told I can't sing these songs, so I'll just play the chords. Maybe you can." Nobody said anything about you singing, and they all sang. 100,000 freedom singers defying their government because Pete's songs had become the world's songs. But he never stopped resisting that fame. He was often seen at shows after his second or third encore, picking up trash, joining volunteers to put up chairs. Participation, he would say, that's what's going to save the human race. Carl Sandburg called Pete America's tuning fork. That suited his musical genius, but also his pitch-perfect, people-first patriotism and his rhapsodic, radical belief in us. He's gone now, but we know what he would say, here, today. Carry it on, Pete Seeger would say, and keep singing.